Check, check. Hello, hello. Test 1, 2, 3. Can anybody hear me? How's the audio levels? You guys let me know how that sounds. There's a little bit of a delay, so I have to kind of hang out here. Hang out here for a while before I can get some feedback. Alright, let's see. Where's the chat? There it is, hiding. Alright. Yes, we can hear you perfect. Awesome. Very cool. Wow, 33 people already here. Alright, who all we got? We got PUBG, CubeZ, Baltic Boy Wandering. Thank you guys all for being here. Fake Fire, Codermano, BJ, hello, Mr. Tello, Bryn Hall. Wow, so great to have you guys all here. As you may notice, there's no background music this time. I was in a mad rush to get this all set up. If you can't tell, it's a little bit different behind me than last time. We have a move behind us. But the important thing is we've got the stream running, sound works, sounding and looking great. Thanks. All right. The only thing that's missing is a cold beverage besides this water. Let's see if we can fix that. All right. Well, as you no problem, CubeZ, Drone On, welcome. Arquatar, Cube TV, KTube TV, welcome. As you may know, this is a special stream. This is the second Quadcopterguide stream ever, but it's the first stream after the channel with you guys, with you guys being 10,000 subscribers. So we did it. We broke the 10,000. Do I need to aim the camera down? I just need to sit up straight more. Oh, delivery. Thank you. Frosty cool beverage. Hi, dude. This is my favorite. This is from a relatively small, medium-sized brewery just south of Munich at the Tegernsee. It's a lake in the Tegernsee region. And yeah, the typical half-liter bottle. This is a small, by the way. Yep. Let me know in the chat what you guys are having at this moment. If it's morning, then, you know, a water is totally fine. Or if it's evening and you don't drink, that's fine too. Cheers. Oh man, that is good. Nice and cool. May have to leave the stream. I'm on bad data. No worries. No worries. We'll do the drawing at the end. As a matter of fact, I already had the robot pick someone just in case it goes bad. BJ's having a beer. Awesome. Enjoy your water. When are you going to roll the winner? So we'll chat in a little bit. Answer some questions you guys might have about drones, quadcopters, whatever. And then towards the end, I will let you guys know who won the grand prize. What is the grand prize? Oh, right here, still in the box. It's the DJI Tello. And not just the Tello. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have had beer. 3 batteries. I'm going to call this the DJI Tello Flymore combo. A multi-charger. You have to supply your own remote control because the remote control is just your smartphone. I won't have this stream go too much more than an hour. No worries. If you guys have to leave, you know, it is what it is. I want the giveaway to start now. Well, which is, all right, perfect question. Charles Raffi, welcome to the stream. Which is a perfect drone for a beginner? You know, it depends. It depends on a lot of things. what do you want to get out of it? What is your main mission is kind of the question that I ask. What would you use it for most of the time? So what would you use hey Chris Hope, what would you use a beginner drone for? Charles. Let's say you want it to have a camera, right? Because you want to capture images from the air. And let's just go through them. There's a couple of ways a couple of routes you can go. You can either, if you haven't had had a toy drone that is kind of just one of those super cheap, without GPS kind of toy drones, that is kind of a good starting point actually, because it won't just hover on its own. So you can't just let go of the sticks and it just stays perfectly there, which all the DJI drones except for this Tello essentially do, either based on GPS or obstacle sensors, vision sensors, which keep the drone hovering in place if there isn't GPS. If you get one of these toy drones and you can actually hover it, which takes some skill because like I said, they don't just stay there, then you have good kind of training for your fingers and your brain of what happens if, let's say, your GPS signal on a DJI drone fails. Because if a DJI drone, if it loses GPS or the GPS chip just fails, it goes into something called attitude mode, ATTI mode. And there, it could be hovering, but if there's a breeze, guess what happens? The drone is no longer stationary and it moves. It'll still use other sensors if they're working to kind of keep it balanced. There's also a, what is it? It'll come to me in a second. There's a barometer on board, a gyroscope, which also works in tandem with the GPS chip, of course, to keep the drone level. So don't ask questions. So if you want to start out with something like that, or maybe you already have something like that, then that's a good first step. If you want to step into the world of DJI drones, which of course make really fantastic gear, otherwise I wouldn't be testing them on the channel for you guys. It's also a question of budget, right? So around the $500 mark, of course, you've got the DJI Mavic Mini that DJI just brought out recently, late last year. And this is quite of an attractive drone because it weighs under 250 grams. And in many countries around the world, if your drone is under 250 grams, there's less registration requirements. And also the thing is just so tiny and lightweight and just quiet. Of course, if it is a little breezy where you live, and maybe you want something a little bit more substantial, then the newly released Mavic Air 2 is hard to beat. It's really hard to beat, actually. And if you haven't seen my review of that thing, I really invite you to check that out. You know what? I'm going to post a link to that in the comments. 1 second. Because that video is a work of art. All right, here we go. So here, check out that. That is my Mavic Air 2 review. And it's kind of in a really sweet spot. The Mavic 2 Pro is essentially twice the price. Of course, there's more features to warrant that price. But for a large majority out there, I really feel like the Mavic Air 2 has everything that you'd want in a very, very decent drone. You could, of course, use the Mavic Air 2 as a beginner drone. It is a little pricey. I mean, what is it, $800 for just the drone and the remote controller and the one battery? On that one, I encourage you to see if you can make the Flymore package work, because at the price of the batteries, I think they're like, what, $115 or euros a pop? It definitely makes sense to get the Flymore combo. Charles says videography drone. Yep. So is Tello good for videography? This little guy, I believe it has a 720p camera. I guess I should have pulled up the specs. It does have a camera, but there isn't a gimbal. I believe there is some electronic stabilization that helps smooth out the image, but the footage out of here is not going to be comparable to anything like a bigger drone like the Mavic Air 2 or the Phantom 4 Pro or the Mavic 2 Pro. So, you know, the Tello is the perfect quarantine drone, let's say, just because you can actually fly that indoors. It has propeller guards, so if you're flying against walls, you know, it'll bounce right off. And if you don't hit anything with a sharp corner, it'll actually keep flying. And then Mavic Mini, I mean, you could fly that indoors. Anything bigger than this, though, is kind of boring because you can't really go too fast or too far because you get a risk of hitting furniture, and then it spins up all the dust on top of your cabinets, which you don't clean very often, for example. Olaf from Barcelona. Dan BCN, welcome. Jim Kelly, welcome. He's exactly right. He says sub 250 gram drones are not as restricted, and he's totally right there. How far can the Tello go? That is a great question. It uses the Wi-Fi connection from your phone, so it's nothing like OcuSync or OcuSync 2.0, which you do get in the Mavic Air 2, for example. I haven't done a range test on it. I doubt you're going to be able to fly it very far past. I mean, if the Tello gets too small for you to not see which way it's going, which way it's turned, then it's a very exciting flight because you don't know what's going on. But yeah, I don't know, 20, 30 meters, 50 feet, maybe, max. Is the Tello good for photography? You know, for photography, it does have the camera without the gimbal, but maybe for photography, it's not as important to have a gimbal compared to videography. It'll do snapshots, but the quality is just going to be worse than like a camera cell phone. So don't expect it to get some kind of fancy pictures. And of course, raw photos, forget it. This will do just compressed JPEG. All the Tello drones are programmable through Swift. Coder Mano asks, I believe that's just the education version, the EDU version, that has SDK access, but I'm not 100%. Excuse me, I'm not 100% certain. I need like a burp button. Do I have that? No. I don't have any DJI drones. I really want one now. Sam says, Sam 11. Cool. KTube TV thinks this is his. Well, let's see. Waden, welcome. Waden Shalquick. Do you do any FPV? That is a great question. I kind of teased it the last live stream, and I still haven't posted much of it. I don't have it here right now. I'm going to get the studio kind of set up a little bit better than it is now. But yes, as a matter of fact, I do FPV. Over Christmas, actually, over Christmas break, I built my first FPV quad, a 7-inch with a 6S battery. The Big Kahuna, I call it. 6S 7-inch props. That thing screams. I can't wait to show you guys what that thing is capable of. It blew me away the first time. Let's just say that. Those of you guys that are here, if you're whatever you're drinking, cheers. If you guys were not in my last live stream, I will also select a couple of you guys to get some swag, some Quadcopterguide swag. Limited edition stickers and ladies and gentlemen, the limited edition Quadcopterguide Bierdeckel. Huh? What do you guys think this is? What do you guys think a Bierdeckel is? And if you're from Germany, you don't get to answer. Let's see what you guys think. What is a Bierdeckel used for? It has multiple uses. Let's see. Bro, chill. Wait till he answers the question. Wi-Fi is good for 80 yards, Hunter WS says. Okay, good to know. For distance, need a booster. Is it legal to drink beer and live stream at the same time? Hey, Appeal 2008. Thanks for being here. I hope so. Please don't tell YouTube. No, I've seen many others do it, so I'm sure it's fine. What do you think about the Mavic 2 Zoom? Leo Oberkofler is asking. The Mavic 2 Zoom is a very interesting bird. Of course, the Mavic 2 Zoom came out at the same time as the Mavic 2 Pro. I have the Mavic 2 Pro. I actually got that early as well from DJI to test and review for you guys. If you haven't seen that, that was that's pretty much my first big video, was my Mavic 2 Pro review. And I wouldn't be a YouTuber without giving a link out to that. So hang on one second. Right here. Here's my Mavic 2 Pro review. And the Mavic 2 Zoom, of course, differs from the Mavic 2 Pro in that it has a optical zoom. It's the first consumer drone from DJI with optical zoom. So the Mavic 2 Pro, of course, has the bigger 1-inch sensor. You know, not this big, but to scale, it's much bigger. It's 4 times as big as the sensor on the Mavic 2 Zoom, or the Mavic Air 2, or the old Mavic Pro, etc., etc. So if you are into videography, if you are into kind of filmmaking, then the Mavic 2 Pro does make sense in some cases to shell out the money for that. If you're a pretty serious photographer, the larger sensor is, of course, very nice to have. It also has physical aperture blades, but around f4 is the sharpest. If you go to like f11, for example, then your images just become unusable. So there's not a huge advantage to that. There's a mechanical shutter on the Mavic 2 Pro, which is helpful. But the Mavic 2 Zoom, of course, the selling point of that is this optical zoom on the lens. And I can show you guys here. So if the Mavic 2 Pro takes a picture like this, the Mavic 2 Zoom can actually do this, zoom in. And this is not done digitally, where it just takes the image and then kind of gets rid of pixels and zooms in. This is optical on the camera lens itself. So if you need to film stuff where you can't get super close, let's say you're hired to film a sailboat event, or maybe a dirt bike track or whatever, and you can't get super close because, you know, you want to keep your safe distance, but you want the image to get closer, then the Mavic 2 Zoom is perfect for that. So that's a big selling point of that. Now, if you don't need the optical zoom on the Mavic 2 Zoom, then I would strongly encourage you to take a look at the Mavic Air 2. For the money, the Mavic Air 2 is a very good package. And of course, if you're interested in that, you can check out the links in any of my video descriptions and check out the Mavic Air 2. If you're watching this after the fact, if you're not in the live stream comments, but you're watching this after it got posted, welcome, first of all. Thank you for being here. And the links I mentioned, I will write down in the video description. Maybe I shouldn't have drunk a beer. Cheers. So I hope that answers your question for the Mavic 2 Zoom. Another big difference, of course, between the Mavic Air 2 and the Mavic 2 Zoom. The Mavic 2 Zoom uses the DJI Go 4 app, and the Mavic Air 2 uses the a little bit simplified DJI Fly app. There's still some settings that are not in the Fly app that there are in the DJI Go 4 app. So that's something to keep in mind. If you are big into changing saturation, contrast, and sharpness in camera, then to date you cannot do that with the Fly app. So just something to keep in mind. All right, let's take a look at the chat here. Oh, wow. A cup holder. All right. So the question was, what is this thing here? So Charles gives me a cheers emoji. The giveaway has not happened yet, if you're wondering about that. The Jack says everybody should say thanks for the giveaway. I agree with you. All right, so here's the Mavic 2 Zoom question. Does it have GPS? The Tello does not. The Mavic Air and the Mavic 2 Zoom In Pro, of course, do. Actually, there's new apps for Tello constantly being released. Jim Kelly says that's good to know. If you can't reach the end of the live stream, then of course you still have a chance to win. I will reply to your comment on the video, and I'll go through what you had to do to be eligible to win before the giveaway, so don't worry. I'd love to drink, but except I'm at work. Michael says, well, in that case, Michael, cheers. I will take a sip for you. Cheers, man. At work on a Saturday. It's a bummer. What do you do? Let me know. Michael Belshi. Can you do a drone giveaway, please? Well, you're in the right place for that. Cheers from Galway, Ireland. Brewdog Punk is going down easy here, Ronan says. Welcome to the stream. Beer mat. All right, so here's the question. The answer's what this is. They said a beer mat. That's a great word. Is that what they call it in England? A beer mat? I haven't heard that before. That's awesome. Coaster, Jim. Michael says coaster. Coaster. May the Swiss answer. Nat Heimberg, welcome to the stream. Yeah, you can answer now. Throw that the bartender for another beer. That's nice. Can't wait for videos about it. Waden says no worries. Bierdeckel. Who said Bierdeckel? Flying DJ Spark. All right, so if you're outside in a beer garden, this is Germany we're filming in, then you're outside, there's tall trees, and sometimes it's breezy. And if you're drinking something refreshing like a Radler, which if you don't know, when it's really hot outside, above 30 Celsius, above 95 Fahrenheit in freedom units, then sometimes a cold beer is delicious, but sometimes you want to go for something a little bit lighter, because let's just face it, you're at a beer garden for hours, you can't just shovel in the beer. Let's say you're drinking a Radler, which is half lemonade usually and half beer, and you might think, what the heck is that? It's actually quite popular, and sometimes you can mix your own. You put the lemonade portion in yourself, and then they top it off with beer. Anyhow, that is sweet, and if you drink that outside and it's sweet, then you attract the bees and wasps. So if you don't want furry flying little friends in here, then this is a half-liter glass. In the beer garden, you can also get the liter, which is bigger. Then you take your Bierdeckel. Ta-da! No wasps or bees or crap from the trees flying in, pollen. So, use number 1. And of course, use number 2 on the bottom. So, I will pick a few random people to win a limited edition Quadcopterguide sticker and Bierdeckel. And I will ship those anywhere in the world. So you are not limited to any kind of continent for that. So I'll pick 5 people for that at the end. Remind me if I forget. Mike Kinney is here. Hey, Mike. Thanks for joining. Mavic 2 Pro is awesome. Still looking at the Mini for my first. D Lelo 2 says, welcome to the stream. Yeah, the Mavic 2 Pro is a first drone. Unless you have some experience, it's expensive, and they make it relatively easy to not make huge mistakes, but it's still possible. And imagine crashing a Mavic 2 Pro on your first couple flights because you don't have the experience. It all depends on how much disposable income you have, I guess. So that's a good tip. Yeah. Mohammed Patel asks, what drone do you recommend for a low budget with some experience? Not a lot. If the Mavic Mini is in your price range, then that is a good starter drone, let's say. And if that's too expensive, then, like I mentioned earlier, one of the cheaper drones like the Cyma X5C, I believe it's called. It's relatively a good size. It's bigger than a Tello. I believe it has brush motors, so it's not as fancy as a drone with brushless motors, which is just a little bit more efficient, which the larger DJI drones actually have. The Tello has brushed motors as well. So that's an interesting fact about the Tello. It's less than $50. I think the Cyma X5 or X5C, it might even have a follow-up to that now. They have ones with cameras, of course, no gimbal or anything, but that's a great one to practice your flying skills because there's no GPS. So I would recommend that with a low budget. Hunter WS had a comment about the zoom and the beach, but I won't read that. Which cam am I using right now, sir? Charles asks. This is the Sony A6600 with the 18-105 G lens. And I don't know if you can tell, but the live streaming setup I have isn't super. It's kind of a janky setup, but I'm working on that to get multiple camera angles. It's going to get exciting. Okay. I've only had the Mavic Air 2 for 2 weeks, but it's awesome, Ronan says. Excellent. That's great. Glad to hear. Ronan, have you had another DJI drone before your Mavic Air 2? What do you think about the DJI Fly app? Mavic Air 2 and Mini both have great flight time, around 30 minutes. Have you ever had a tri-motor drone? Brett asks. No, I have not. That'd be interesting, huh? Cheers, mate, Sam says. Who won the giveaway? Electronics Addict. I haven't done it yet, so you're just in time. 51 viewers. Excellent. I took a drink of coffee with you, Michael says. Excellent. I had not flown a drone until I got the Mavic Air 2 2 weeks ago, Leonard said. But now I'm totally hooked. Nothing but praise for the Mavic Air 2. Excellent. Glad you agree. Oh, JT says, hey, you missed my question just now. I wanted to ask what your opinion is on doing evening night photography or photography with, say, a Mini. That is a great question. So the DJI Mini has a 1/2.3 inch sensor, which is kind of the same size sensor as you have in smartphones and the old Mavic Pro, for example. And even the Mavic 2 Zoom has a 1/2.3 inch sensor, imagine, believe it or not. Now, with the relatively small sensor and the fixed aperture on the Mini, it's not as low light friendly as something like the Mavic 2 Pro, for example, with the 1 inch sensor, because that's of course 4 times the size. I imagine, I haven't tried it yet, but I imagine you get quite a bit of noise. So if low light or night photography is your thing, then I highly encourage you to take a look at the Mavic 2 Pro or the Phantom 4 Pro, because it also has a 1 inch sensor. 1 inch sensor. PJ, that is so smart. Gosh darn it, Germany, he says. Floyd, Vincent, welcome. How is everyone? He says, I'm doing good. Anything that protects the beer is good. I like the way you think, Ronan. I think I'll have a Quadcopterguide Doppelbock tonight. Nice. Brett says he loves my vids. Thank you very much. Charles asked if there's any corona cases in Germany. There is. I hadn't checked in a couple of days, but the number of cases was reducing quite a bit, and they keep opening up the restrictions. So it'll be interesting to see what it's like right now. I would love to win a sticker, Nat Heimberg says. Yeah, sounds good. Does the Mavic Mini have GPS? It does. The Mavic Mini does have GPS. I love listening to your voice. It's so relaxing. Well, hey, that makes one of us. No, I'm glad. It's partially about the mic, which is one of the reasons I went with this one. Greetings from Portugal, from Felipe D. Hey, welcome. Robot Films, be right back. All right. If you're looking to challenge your flight skills, use a Phantom 2. After that, anything will be flying a breeze. Will be a breeze. That's true. I actually started into the world of DJI with a Phantom 2. That was before it came with a gimbal and camera attached. What was that one called? Anyhow, you had to attach your own GoPro, and I bought a gimbal separately. Oh, excuse me. Long day ahead of me already. With the Phantom 2, you can actually go to manual mode, which turned off GPS, barometer, gyro, everything would turn off. And if you left the throttle stick in the middle where the normal hover position is, that thing sunk like a rock. The first time I switched it to manual, I kissed the grass with the landing gear of the Phantom 2. And that was with me giving full throttle as it got close. So yeah, that was my first experience with manual mode. And then that really makes you appreciate how much technology is in these quadcopters and drones. They do a lot, multiple times a second, to make sure that that thing is just rock solid, even in wind. It's just nuts. The technology is amazing. Drone Footage Canada, hey, welcome. Sipping now, Floyd says, welcome. Getting an ASMR vibe in here. Yeah, sorry, Peter. I normally have some background music for you guys to enjoy with me. Danny Butler, hey buddy, were you born in Germany? If so, your English is exceptional. Picking up an American twang, perhaps. Good ear, you've got a good ear. As a matter of fact, I was born here. But until recently, I spent more than half of my life in the US. So that's where I picked up my, let's call it above average English for people that live over here. Otherwise, my German would sound like this, and this is not to make fun of anybody here in Germany, but is very, very funny, I think. I hope I didn't offend anyone. That's not my goal here. Sorry if you felt that way. I thought he was referring to cases of beer. Recover everyone. Drone. In what context was that again? No worries, JT. Andreas. Dude! Greetings from Munich, he says. Welcome. I opened my favorite beverage. Prost. Prost. That's another thing I forgot to tell you guys. So if you want to say cheers in German, you would say Prost. Prost. P-R-O-S-T. You say Prost, and then you have to look the person in the eye and clank your beverage with the other person while looking them in the eye. And if you don't, it's bad news. So now a question to you guys. I'm sure you've seen pictures of the Oktoberfest, for example, where people have the huge Maßkrug, that's the 1 liter beverage retainer devices, and they clank them super hard, mostly because they're drunk. But do you know where that came from, to kind of clank your glasses like that? That's the next trivia question. Let me know in the chat. Let's see what you guys think about that. Volatello is a good app. Gives you return to home. Wow, okay. So Mike Kinney says that Volla, V-O-L-L-A, Tello is a good app. Gives you return to home and better range. Interesting. That's worth a try. Oh, Brett. He's in Kenya right now. Hey, greetings in the south. To the south from here. Yokeris is from Dominican Republic. Wow, that's cool. Tom, greetings from Budapest. Tom, nagyon jó, hogy itt vagy. Köszi szépen, hogy a livestreamt megnézed velünk. What was that? That was not German, was it? That was a little bit of Hungarian. What do you do when you don't fly or talk about drones? That is a great question. Many years in IT. Now a little bit in the video production space. That is what I do. And many other things, but work related. Greetings from the UK. Where is the beer? It's here. It's here. It's getting warm, so cheers. Kannst du mal Deutsch reden? Ah, ja, habe ich vorher schon gemacht. Flying DJI Spark asked if I could speak some German. I told him I just did. Do you have the DJI goggles? I do. Sad to say, I actually have two pairs. I've got the white ones, which, I don't know, I have to do a firmware update or something on them. I haven't figured out a couple things with that yet. But I have the DJI FPV goggles as well. And I can't wait to show you guys those, because those are exciting. Now you sound like my Austrian boss. You must get back to work. Do not drink more coffee at the coffee machine. Now it just sounds like Arnold. That's not right. The Corona account. Yay, live stream. Task Who Plays a Game says, welcome. Proust in the Netherlands. We have Oktoberfest in La Crosse, Wisconsin here. Excellent. Maybe your Oktoberfest isn't canceled this year, because the one in Munich is. Millions of people that flock to Munich for it. We'll have to do it for another reason, because it is canceled for the first time in a long time. From the Latin posit. That is, Gabriel, that is an interesting question, because at the Oktoberfest there's a song that says posit, posit, do, 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 do. So that would make sense. I didn't know that was from Latin. As a beginner into the drone fly community, JT says, do you think the Mini is a great starter? I loved your review on the drone and has me very inspired to start. Can't wait. Yeah, I mean, if it's your first kind of, let's call it higher end, because $500 is not a cheap drone. The Mini is a great entry into the kind of higher end segment, let's say. I would say maybe see if there's any used ones around, just in case you buy it and you get a little bored of it. Maybe within a couple months you can sell it for pretty much the same price. I really do need a mute button here. But then it kind of opens a couple of other issues. How do you know if the used drone was crashed, if it flies well? So it's kind of a trade-off. If you can borrow a buddy that has experience in drones, or someone you know that can go with you to purchase a used Mavic Mini, then that would be a great choice, of course. If not, buying it new, using one of the links in the video description from one of my videos is highly appreciated. That's always a possibility as well, of course. But yeah, the Mavic Mini is a great starter drone. You can change your channel to Quadcopter ASMR. Felipe says. Felipe. Should I just talk for hours and say, you like DJI quadcopters? You like Quadcopterguide? You want to watch every video from Quadcopterguide? And call it an ASMR video? The clink is from back in the day to prove that who you were drinking with didn't poison your drink, Nachi Y says. Excellent, that is true. So back to that story, or fact. So when you clank your glass against someone else's, liquid, you do it so vigorously that the liquid beer mixes and kind of sloshes into the other cup. And they did that back in the day because everybody was paranoid that they were getting poisoned by the other person, especially if you're kind of higher up in the economic side of things. And this clinking before drinking ensured that a little bit of your beer went into his glass and some of his went into yours. So if there was poison in one of the beers that you were just offered, for example, then now both of you would croak, and so the person wouldn't drink. And so if the other person drank after clinking like that, then you know that it's safe. So that's where that comes from. Sound helped to please all five senses, completing the drinking experience. You know what? I should have opened it on air as well. Let's see if you guys can hear. Trying my second name, please. Brett Kinuthia? Brett Kinuthia. How do you say it? Ronan says my memories of Oktoberfest were very fuzzy. A great time, though, I think. Yeah, that is the memories of many people. Get to the chopper, Hunter W says. If you're in IT, you know what a picnic is. I'm not familiar with that one, but it might jog my memory. Try building a drone. Test your skills. Brett says, as a matter of fact, I built a 7-inch FPV drone. And if you weren't there when I talked about that, I will show off that in a little bit. Tom says, wow, do you speak a little Hungarian? Yeah, beszélek egész jól magyarul. I do speak a little Hungarian. I learned that as a young child as well. Oktoberfest has been canceled too. Yeah. Oktoberfest? Did you mean Oktoberfest, Hunter? Which is the most expensive drone in DJI? That's a good question. Out of the consumer drones, which I consider anything under an Inspire 2, for example, I would say that is the Mavic 2 Pro or the Phantom 4 Pro version 2. Both those are available with the smart controller, of course, or the built-in controller screen. For the Phantom 4, it's the Phantom 4 Pro Plus. It's a funny name. I believe those are the most expensive consumer drones. Then you step up to kind of professional class, which the Inspire 2 is, and that drone itself is like $3,500 without a camera on it. Then you have to attach a gimbal on a camera, and you can spend, I think, $7,000 for the set with the 4 lenses, just for camera and gimbal for the Inspire 2. And it flies with 2 batteries at once, so that's like what, $300 for each set of batteries at least. And then of course there's the Matrice 600, 300, whatever they have, and the agricultural drone, and that's just up here. I don't have a need for those yet. That would be probably the most expensive of DJI drones. The Matrice. Hunter says, yep. Try a little bit of Spanish. El ganador del drone está Jack? ¿Dónde está mis pantalones, por favor? That's my extent of my Spanish. Definitely will use one of your links. Thanks for the info. Hey, no worries, JT. I really would appreciate you doing that. Gives the channel a little bit of pocket change to get more cool stuff to test for you guys. Can you show your FPV drone build? You know, I can. If you guys don't mind hanging out for a second, I will grab it and show you guys. We can talk about that for a little bit. Hang out just for a second. Sorry about the short wait. Thank you for waiting. Thank you for waiting, guys. So, oh, that made me very thirsty. Here it is, fellas, ladies and gents. Welcome to the first Quadcopterguide FPV quad. I don't want to call it a drone. This is a quad, man. Check it out. Focus. This is, of course, without a battery. And here you can see the 7-inch propellers. So I believe the complete diameter of both blades is 7 inches, so 3.5 to the motor. And here's the motors. Kind of hard to see. Let me zoom in a little bit. So check that out. These things are huge. If you compare this to any kind of DJI motor, even the Mavic 2 Pro, these things are huge. And so these things you can buy pre-made or pre-built like this, but I built this one essentially from scratch from a kit. So you buy the carbon pieces, that's separate. Then in here it's kind of hard to see. But here is an ESC, or the electronic speed controller, which controls each motor. And you have to solder the motor wires on, and there's 3 wires from each motor that go on there. And I'll cover this more in detail in a future video, so don't worry. And just because you can control the motors, give them electricity, that's not enough. You have to have a flight controller. So there's another board in there, it's a flight controller, and all these little wires, the receiver, the DJI air unit, that all has to get connected to the flight controller via cables with plugs or solder. So I had to do quite a bit of soldering on here. And I don't know about you, but I'm not a solder professional, so that was kind of exciting. And then in the back here, we've got the DJI air unit, as I scratch the microphone. And this is what sends the digital FPV live feed to the DJI FPV goggles. And if you've seen some onboard DVR footage of the analog days, it's such a big difference. But I'll showcase that as well. And the battery just kind of sits on top here, so it's not very sexy like a DJI drone, but this thing is all about performance. So here it is, my FPV quad. Was it like this? Yeah. So I cannot wait to share this with you guys. And what kind of footage is possible with this. I just put a GoPro in here. And I use a software to stabilize that footage after the fact to make it buttery smooth. And I will go over how all that stuff works and how to get the best results, of course. Flying DJI Spark asked if I tripped over his Wi-Fi cable. No, not me. Picnic, problem in chair, not in computer, Jim Kelly says. I know that as a pepcac. The problem exists between keyboard and chair. So that's my FPV drone, and I can't wait to share that with you guys. Charles asks if any DJI drones are water resistant. Not out of the box. Some companies make some sprays or liquids you can dunk your drone in, but I don't know. I don't buy into it. So I haven't tried it. All right, how about we do the giveaway in 5 minutes? Let's do the giveaway in 5 minutes. Nat Heimberg asks, he just finished a Mavic Air video for Instagram and Facebook. He still finds it quite hard to grade the footage. Any quick tip to get as little noise as possible? Great question. I assume you mean Mavic Air 1. I tend to expose for the highlights and then bring up the shadows in post. And yeah, there's going to be noise. Small sensor, there's going to be noise. So try any kind of denoising app or plugin in your video editor and see if that helps out. Of course, for grading, you want to get a flat color profile, so anything decent like you'd want to go with if you want to have the most kind of dynamic range. Brett asks if I've reviewed any Evo drones yet. I have not. I'd love to do that one day. Just haven't had the chance to yet. There's some questions here about the FPV drone, so I guess I'll answer those. How much flight time do you get with it? So yeah, so people expect 30-minute flight time out of a DJI drone, right? Like the Mavic Air 2, Mavic Mini, Mavic 2 Pro gets what, 25 realistically. If you're flying hard, that thing gets 6 minutes. 6 minutes of flight time. And I'll show you guys the battery at some point. Not today, but in the future. And the battery is massive. The battery is 2.5 times the size of a Mavic 2 Pro battery. And if you're aggressively flying it, it gets 6 to 7 minutes of flight time. If you're kind of puddling about, hovering slowly, you get about 8 to 9 minutes if you're lucky. So yeah, it's not made for long flight times. We've gotten really spoiled with DJI camera drones, that's for sure. Greetings from Finland, electronics addict, sorry. I just saw the EA, my brain went to electronic artist. Welcome, welcome. Buttery smooth, Sarah T. I like the mood lighting. Is blue your favorite color? Sarah T is asking. Welcome, Sarah T. Welcome to the live stream. Blue is my favorite color. And this, as a matter of fact, thank you for asking. On the coaster, it's not really visible because the printing didn't make it exact. Maybe on these stickers. But if you see my logo on YouTube or on the blog, quadcopterguide.com, I don't know if many of you guys know that I actually have a blog where I blog, not very frequently, but lots of drone rumors that I post on there. The official color of Quadcopter Guide is this kind of bluish turquoisey. The RGB code is 0151 and something else. Don't want to spoil it, otherwise I would use that color. And that blue matches this color perfectly. Yeah, so there. That is the mood lighting. How much does it cost to build an FPV? Well, that just depends. There's 3-inch quads you can build with FPV. There's 5-inch, which is kind of the go-to normal size. And there's big guys like this, 7-inch and larger. There's 10-inch. There's huge, huge quads. That one I did not build on the cheap. That I chose high quality stuff for it just because I wanted something very reliable. But a couple $100. And you need a remote because it doesn't work with kind of a Mavic remote. You have to have a remote for that. Yeah, okay. And you need goggles. So if you're going to go with analog, you need analog FPV goggles, and those can get pricey. Digital, even more. So just keep that in mind. You need a lot of stuff around it. You need a battery charger to charge your lipos. So it's not super simple, but if you do it and you're kind of geeky and you love making stuff, you love troubleshooting, because you will be troubleshooting most likely. You like tuning the software, Betaflight, which is kind of the software that runs on the flight controller. The latest versions are they make it quite simple. I don't know if I should say quite simple. They make it easier than it used to be. Let's just say it that way, and quite fun. Let's say if we compare this to throwing up a WordPress blog, if you know some basics, let's just say if you're not scared of learning something new and you're kind of a techie, then you can figure it out. And it's a lot of fun. Do you plan any more live streams in the future? Wayden asks. Yeah, I need to get more regular at this. I don't know, maybe I'll shoot for one every 2 weeks. So let's see. Michael says 47 watching and only 29 thumbs up. Come on, everyone. Hey, I agree. Michael, cheers to you, man. Cheers to you. All right, so I guess it's giveaway time. Here we go. Fingers crossed. Namaste. Can I purchase stickers? You don't have to purchase them. I'll give a couple away. It's 2 o'clock at night. Ooh, then let's do this. Liverpool Red. When did you start flying? I'll answer this and then we'll do the giveaway. How does he only have 10,000 subs? SBC asks. That's a great question. That's a great question. I'm glad I have 10,000. I started in remote control airplanes back when I was in high school. So what? 15, 16? So I've been in the kind of remote control hobby for quite a while. All right. So it's time. Who wants to win a DJI Rise Tello? Here it is. This is going to be one of your guys' soon. And 3 batteries and a charger. Now we'll ship it to you. So what did you have to do to be eligible to win the DJI Rise Tello? Recently, I published a video called 10,000 subscriber drone giveaway and best of. And short recap. Drum roll, please. Yes, everyone's getting excited. Awesome. In that video, the most important part of that video, if you ask me, is not the giveaway, but it's that over 10,000 of you decided that you enjoy my content, the content on the channel enough to hit that subscribe button. And I know it's not a huge deal, but it is kind of a big deal to get 10,000 people to do that. And just to consistently or semi-consistently upload new content that is exciting and interesting and people watch. And so that video is just a thank you. So if you haven't seen it yet, I invite you to watch it even after this live stream. And just one more time, you right in there, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for subscribing to the channel and for helping this channel grow. And if you think the stuff on here is good now, then thank you. It's getting good, but the future is going to be even better. So get excited for more great content. I'm excited and I just can't wait. The other part of that video was the drone giveaway. I announced that I'm going to give away this DJI Tello. My previous drone giveaway, which DJI partnered with me on, I got to give away a DJI Mavic Mini. And on that one, they said I could give it away to anyone in the US or Canada. So I figured for this giveaway, for the Tello, I thought, you know what, US, Canada, you guys got some love with the Mini. So, you know, that's cool. But hey, people like me, huh? We're in Europe. Let's do a giveaway for those guys over here. And so I mentioned this in the video as well. This giveaway is this time limited to subscribers. And not, I shouldn't say subscribers because then YouTube might block me. But people in the European Union, in the EU, and yes, I count England and UK, Scotland. I'm counting you guys as part of this giveaway. No matter what your governments choose to do, Brexit, etc. And so I said in the video, obviously, if you are enjoying the content, if you want to get more live streams, and in the future more giveaways, I'm not going to do a giveaway every video. I'm not Mr. Beast, yeah, okay? Not made of money. But if you want to be notified of more content, future content, then of course hit the subscribe button, please. Please. And the little bell next to it to be notified. And that's how you get notified of live streams like this, for example, if you have notifications turned on. So it helps out quite a bit as well. And you have to leave a comment on that video saying where you're from, obviously, so I could tell and kind of have the random comment picker pick a random person that is eligible, and I asked you to post what you would use it for. And so I went to a random comment picker website before this video started, and I picked a winner. So here we go. Now, I have the comment selected already. And if this mouse click here works, then you should get to see the comment. So here we go. The winner of the DJI Tello with the 3 batteries and multi-charger. You supply the remote control because you have to use a smartphone. I pay the shipping out of my own pocket. I bought this drone out of my own pocket. Yeah. The winner of the Tello in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. So now you should see. The winner of the Tello is Drinternot G. The random comment picker selected you. His comment a little bit longer, but he says he loves the channel. He has from the start. So that's great. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a long-time subscriber. He doesn't have a creative eye. He lives in central Scotland in Cumbernauld. He would use the drone to get some cool shots during the construction. I guess they are building a new church building. So, you know what? I guess the Tello's going to get put to use to get some construction shots. So that's kind of cool. He says, here's to the next 100,000 subscribers. You deserve it. God bless. Drinternot G. Congratulations, man. Or woman. Dude or dudette. Whoever you are, I don't know. Please reach out to me. You can find my email address on the YouTube About page. If you scroll down, there's usually a little capture box. You can find my email address there, or reach out to me on Facebook or Instagram. And then if there's more than one person that writes me, then I will figure out a way to verify that you are who you are and you are the owner of that channel, of that user account. And I will get this DJI Tello packaged up and shipped out to you for free. So, congrats. All right, I need to go back to the camera view. Here we go. So, there you have it. The winner of the DJI Tello and the 10,000 subscriber Quadcopterguide drone giveaway. It just sounds so cool to say it. All right, so I saw a really good question. Danny Butler found my channel via the Mavic Pilots Forum. Awesome. Hold on one second. I saw a really good question. I saw a question of how could we get more giveaways like this? I think it was a question of how could you donate? That is a great question. On live streams, for example, there's a thing called super chats. If you don't know what that is, there's a way you can do a super chat on YouTube. You can select an amount, and it's kind of like a donation. And you can also write some text. So if you have a question you want me to answer 100%, then a super chat is a great way to do that. That's one way you can donate. If you are in the market for anything from DJI or even Amazon, if you use the links in the video description, then that helps out the channel as well. So that kind of helps out. I've been wanting to do a little bit like something with Patreon, kind of like how the larger channels on YouTube have kind of their membership type thing. That's only available if you have, I think, 100,000 subscribers. So I've been thinking about signing up for Patreon. So I might do that, and that kind of helps. It allows people to support the channel kind of on a monthly basis, a couple bucks a month. And of course, that also helps out. So I might sign up for something like that. So that's how you can support the channel. All right. A couple more comments and then we'll call it a night. Mike Kinney says, whoever wins the Tello, the Gamester controller on Amazon is for $35. Is a better controller, more fun. Great tip. JT says 10,000 is a huge deal. Congrats. Looking forward to the future. Thank you very much. I agree with you. Oh, wow. Lots of comments congratulating the winner, Drinternaut G. All right. Is Drinternaut G in the chat? Did you guys see him or her? I don't think so. But it's not a problem. I will reach out to him. Appeal says, thanks for all the work. Thanks for all your hard work, Felix. Arkutar 20 just left after the announcement of the winner. It happens. Felipe, thanks for spreading the drone love. Hey, no worries. I'm glad I'm able to do so, even if it's just a tello. But hey, already doing a 20,000 subscriber drone giveaway. Phew, I haven't thought that far, but I'll give away something. I don't know if it's going to be a drone, but maybe a cool set of ND filters. Something. All right, so let's pick some winners. Who wants Quadcopterguide swag? Say me, period, and then hit enter. And I will pick 5 random people after this stream is over. And I'll reach out to you. And I'll ship you the Quadcopterguide swag. And that is open to anywhere in the world. Sound good? Make sure you guys are subscribed to not miss out. Hit that notification bell. And I want to thank you for being here. And I can't wait to talk to you guys next time in the next video or in the next live stream. You guys don't have to type out period. All right, if I call your name, please reach out to me via email or Instagram or Facebook and send me your address for the swag. All right, 5 people. Here we go. Brett Kinuthia. You're 1. Mike Kinney. You're 2. Felipe D. You're number 3. Waden Shalquick. You're 4. One more. Danny Butler, you're 5. So if I just called your name, please reach out to me. Let me know your address so I can use the address only to ship you this stuff here. Also, another great thing to be subscribed to, of course, YouTube is a huge one, but is my email list on the blog, quadcopterguide.com/subscribe. I send out low volume emails every once in a while. I'm getting ready to make some exciting training tools for you guys there as well. So if you don't want to miss out on that, be sure to sign up at quadcopterguide.com/subscribe. Alrighty. In the words of Ken Heron, but and bye. Alright, guys. Ladies and gents, thank you for being here. Hour and 15 minutes. And we will make this background here. We're going to pimp this out a little bit for next time. I hope. Thank you for being here, guys. Have a good morning, night, whatever time it is where you're from. Cheers. And I will see you in the next video or live stream. Take care, guys. Goodbye, and thanks for being here. And thanks for being a subscriber. Bye.